I'm Terry Knight. Welcome to Garden Bite. Today we are going to talk about what to do with all those plant pots. You know, the ones where you bought in the spring and you've got a ton of them stacked all over the place? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But what do we do with them? Do we recycle them? Well, I found out there may be a few things that we need to do first. And we are going to get to that, and also we're going to talk about a Japanese Barberry I have that has some issues, and I'm going to dig it out. But there's a lot more to it. There's that whole thing about Japanese Barberry being invasive, and we'll get to that. That's all coming up. Just follow me. So as I told you, I had a stack of pots, garden pots, that I threw into my recycling bin because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Well, it turns out that might not be completely correct. But what I did learn is that another gardener was talking about Home Depot, who actually takes all kinds of different plant pots. And I'll talk more about each of these in a moment, but they will take everything that you have. Well, when I heard that, I thought, oh, that means I really should call my garbage provider and find out exactly what pots they take. Well, you know that symbol on the bottom here. Where is this one? Right in here. And that symbol has a number on it. And that number should be 1, 3, or 5 if my garden provider or my garbage provider is going to take the pot and recycle it. Here's the scoop. This one is a 2. That one won't go into the recycling bin. So I realized I needed to do a little more research. And because of that, I had to go buy more plants. I know, it was so hard on me. So I bought a variety here, and I wanted to point out to you, like, all right, here is one of those really cheap 4-pack type of containers that usually you have, like, this is peppers, and there's the little petunias and pansies and that sort of thing. This is literally garbage. This is not recyclable. Now, we also have these little black plastic ones, and you think, oh, well, that looks like it should probably be recyclable, right? Well, I need my cheaters on. So as we take a look, turn this guy over, and it's actually a number 6. You know what that means? It is not recyclable, at least for my garbage provider. So what am I supposed to do? Well, I found out, I called my hyper-local nurseries. I want to shout out to Connects and also Eco Gardens. They recycle all their own plant pots. First they reuse them, and then they recycle them after they're just unusable. Okay, so what that means is if you buy from them, you take those pots back to them. Now, a couple of other local nurseries that are considerably larger, I called them, and they don't recycle any pots. They haven't done it for years because they say the garbage provider does. That means I want you to call your provider and ask them which ones are safe. Otherwise, as I mentioned, Home Depot takes all of them. They will take these and they will get them reused as much as possible until there's nothing left of these. And then they have a company that takes all those icky plastics that we can't reuse or recycle and puts them into another way of use. It's amazing, so we're grateful for that. Another company that does that is Lowe's, which surprised me too, and I just found that one out recently. But as you can see, we have a variety of these containers, and let's see what this one is. I'm not even sure. I don't think it's even got a recycling. It doesn't. There is no symbol at all on the bottom of this. So, let's see. You know what this means? This is junk. So this is one of the things that you could take to Home Depot and they'll deal with it. Pretty cool, don't you think? And I will admit, I don't buy my plants at Home Depot, but what I do buy there, and I do, is a lot of other stuff. So I don't feel guilty about taking those plant pots to them. And I know that they are totally fine with you taking whatever you have, because the whole point of this is really to do our part in trying to take care of keeping as much plastics out of our environment. And of course now I get to plant these, so we'll get to that in just a moment. So did you know that every year people throw away enough plastics to circle the earth 4 times? Holy cow. So we're going to do our part and we're going to recycle our pots, but I also wanted to show you a little planting too. Now instead of planting in a plastic pot, talk about reuse. I found this at, I don't know, it's a little shop called Used a Bit, and I thought, I know I can figure out something to do with that pot. So I am going to plant this lovely little succulent that is a moss rose, and it is so fun. Obviously it digs sun, and my shooter and I are, I think it's got to be at least, what, 100 degrees right now, Gracie?
Yes.
All right, so Gracie, you're a doll, and thank you for hanging with me. But I watered this a lot, as you can see, and I wanted to get it nice and soft and mushy so that I can place it in here. And I want to put it just like that. We'll squish it down there a little bit, and is that not adorable?
Super cute.
That is fun stuff. And I will be recycling those pots. All right, so coming up next, we are going to take care of this Japanese barberry that I have. Okay, so I forgot to mention one thing, talking about recycling. So I had bought a bunch of grapes, and I thought, oh, you know what? I need to check to see if this is recyclable. Turns out, it is. All right, now on to that Japanese barberry. This Japanese barberry has suffered winter damage, and because it's not very pretty right now, I could just trim out the dead stuff and leave it be. But I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about Japanese barberry to begin with. It is an invasive. It was an ornamental brought here, and it's gorgeous, but it has really taken over in a lot of different places. And in fact, in Minnesota, there are several cultivars that are not for sale anymore. They are the carousel variety, and also this particular barberry is called Orange Rocket. Its cousin Red Rocket is not for sale in Minnesota anymore. So instead of even bothering with trying to save it, I'm going to take it out, okay? And one of the things that's interesting too is that these barberries have 600 seeds per plant that can be dispersed all over as birds eat those plants, eat those berries, and scatter them. They eat the berry, which then is the seed, and then they plant them. That's how they got invasive. Okay, first, before I dig this out, I need to cut it. I'm going to trim it back. So, and it has stickers, so it's kind of owie. I'm just going to cut it back. I'm going to do is use a garden fork. I'm not going to use a shovel. A garden fork is a lot easier to do to get a plant out of the ground. So take that mulch away, and then grab my handy dandy garden fork and okay, so I am going to just completely take him to the compost site and be rid of it. I haven't decided exactly yet what I'm going to plant in there, but maybe that will be our next garden bite. Alright, so we got out of the hot beating sun, and I just wanted to wrap things up with thanking you for watching and hoping that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, I'm Terry Knight with Garden Bite. I broadcast a radio show on 29 radio stations, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Dakotas, and Iowa. And I also have a website, gardenbite.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and of course YouTube. So please send me your comments, your questions, suggestions about future bites. I'd love to hear from you. What do you want to know about? And I will do some research and I'll dig it up for you. And also, I just wanted to mention, please, to comment on YouTube if you get that chance to. I appreciate it. All right, in the meantime, go get dirty.